Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. Lately, I've been feeling like this is a different Pittsburgh Steeler team. And I believe that because of Aaron Rodgers. I believe that Aaron Rodgers' leadership qualities and his commitment to perfection and excellence and makes every single player on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster pay more attention, be more focused to detail, to excellence. I believe that Aaron Rodgers brings out the excellence in every single player on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster. I think that in years prior, there was players on the Pittsburgh Steelers that knew they could get away with subpar behavior and practice in the locker room. I don't think George Pickens would have lasted 2 seconds in the locker room with Aaron Rodgers and his antics. I think Aaron Rodgers would have obviously, been a professional and put his hand out to George and say, hey, we're here to work together. Let's be here for each other. Let's give everything we got. And I think George would have just been George. And I don't think it would have worked at all. And I'm glad that George, I'm not here to talk about George. I can't stand him. But in past years with the Pittsburgh Steelers, there was just a different vibe. Now, when Mason Rudolph was the quarterback for a short period of time, these are professional athletes. They're always going to be competitive. They're always going to think that they could win. When we played our game, when the Steelers played the game against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, the playoff game without TJ Watt, we gave it our all. We just came up short on offense. We didn't have enough firepower on offense. And you're going to be like, that was 2 years ago. Why are you still carrying on about that game? Because last year with Russell Wilson, we all knew before the game the Steelers had no chance to do anything in the playoffs. You knew you had no chance to win. Zero. Zilch. You weren't beating the Bills. You weren't going to beat the Chiefs. We weren't winning the Super Bowl. We knew that. We knew that. But what's different this year? What's different? We don't know that. People are going to say, oh, you're being too optimistic. You're being too optimistic. 2 weeks ago, you were saying we're the worst team ever the way we played the Patriots. And I did say that. And it does sound confusing from time to time. But I also said that I firmly and truly believe with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback that the Pittsburgh Steelers have a chance to win every single game. I believe that. I believe that we can win every single game or be in the game or have a chance to come back when we're losing. Where in years prior, depending on the quarterback, once we went down in the game and the defense didn't get 11 sacks, 4 turnovers, and 9 interceptions, you just knew the game was over. You knew we were going to lose the game. And I don't feel like that anymore. And guess who else doesn't feel like that? The living legend himself, Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher also says, it feels different with this Steelers team. Feels like they have a new identity because of Aaron Rodgers and the offense. Let's see what Bill Cowher had to say. Bill Cowher explains what makes the Steelers team different. Listen, I think the biggest thing is just the identity that A-Rod's giving you on offense. I think he's giving you some credibility for the first time since Ben's been there. It's not up to Cam and TJ to lead that group right now. Hayward chimed in and said that level of professionalism Rodgers and DK Metcalf bring to the team has been important. I think having a guy like Aaron and DK, they just bring a level of professionalism for the group. The way they compete and the way they work during practice isn't talked about enough in the communication they have. You know what? I love DK Metcalf. I love his seriousness. I love his commitment to the game. I love when things go wrong. He's just a professional. He just handles his business like a Jerry Rice type attitude when it comes to work performance. I don't want to say anybody worked as hard as Jerry Rice. We all know the man worked insanely hard. I'm sure DK Metcalf works hard, but I don't want to cross boundaries and be disrespectful. But DK Metcalf is a throwback player with a throwback attitude. And now he's paired with a throwback quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. And that's excellent for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We were missing that link. Before it was defense. Listen, you get it. You know I'm all about defense, defense, defense. If it was up to me, we'd only draft defensive players. But we were always counting on the defense to come through. And we weren't playing complementary football. And now we have complementary football on defense, on offense, and on special teams. We are a different team. I know we crapped the bed against Seattle in our home opener, and so far they have been the best team that the Pittsburgh Steelers have played. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers win by 10 versus Cincinnati Bengals this Thursday night. I think the trend continues. We're going to win. Now, remember, in the past, we haven't done well in these games. But like Coach Cowher said, and what I believe, this is a different team. This is a bit different Pittsburgh Steelers organization. By far. I think we're winning by 10. But I think the real test is 10 days after that, when the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Green Bay Packers Sunday night at 8:15 at Acrisure Stadium. That's our next big test. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, listen, we got to win every single game. You know that. You know I want to win every game. I think we're going to beat the Bengals handily. And then we are really going to see if this is all just talk. Because now we have a couple weeks under our belt to get the rust off, to get the well-oiled machine even oiled better. Defense is playing the run better. Aaron Rodgers is in the shotgun a little more with these jumbo packages. The offense, we're running the ball better. We're throwing the ball better. We're getting better. We're getting better week by week. And it's going to be a great game versus the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, the first time ever after leaving the Green Bay Packers, he is taking on his old team with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You couldn't have written this story better in a book. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a huge day against his old team. I think Aaron Rodgers wants to show the Green Bay Packers fans, the team, Jordan Love, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and Aaron Rodgers himself that he's still that old Aaron Rodgers that we all know. So far, Aaron Rodgers has been the same guy that he's always been. One of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. So Mel Blount, the Pittsburgh legend, he took Steelers cornerback room to dinner Friday. Mel still looks great. Mr. Mel connected with Jalen Ramsey and wanted to take the Steelers secondary to dinner just to share encouragement between generations. The caption reads, "That's what makes this organization special, the older generation pouring into the younger. As rookies, we all go to his house and where he has all his land," Austin said via Chalk Talk with Jerry Dulac on 102.5 WDVE. As rookies, we probably had like 3 or 4 interactions with him. It's just really cool that they're still pouring it into us. That's what makes it, when you put on a jersey, really something meaningful. Former Steelers running back Chuck Sanders wrote, "Mel Blount has been doing great things off the field his entire life. Took us to dinner in 1986. And Mel Blount, he has aged gracefully. He looks great. He looks like he has a baby face. Blount hasn't played a snap for the Steelers since 1983, but his impact on the organization has never faded. He's not alone either. Legends like Mean Joe Green, who went on to coach and scout for the team, and others such as Merrill Hodge, Tunch Ilkin, Craig Wolfe, Ike Taylor, and Brett Kiesel have carried on that tradition by staying closely involved over the years. There are too many to list them all. When pundits debate whether the Steelers' way is fading, it's hard to make that case with guys like Blount still working to keep it alive." Oh, I absolutely love that. I love Mel Blount. I love everything that he did as a player. I love Mel Blount, the person, and I love hearing this. And you know that this just builds our team. This just makes our team stronger. You know, a lot of players in the NFL these days, they care more about social media and going viral and all different types of things. And they just remind you how special you are to wear the black and gold. And you need to take advantage of every opportunity you have, because the clock is ticking on all of us and Father Time beats everybody. So I'm sure Mel Blount makes these players understand that. And I know for a fact that Mel Blount brings out excellence in the Pittsburgh Steelers players. Ben Roethlisberger offers solution for Steelers Acrisure Stadium field issues. I don't think Pitt should play there. Neither do I. I mean, these college kids are paying so much money for tuition and tax, everything. Pitt needs to have their own stadium, and the Pittsburgh Steelers should absolutely have their own stadium. So I can't disagree with that. Well, I'm streaming Thursday night at 8 o'clock for the game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. I can't wait to see you there. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.